So let's look at how you can actually win new business for your consultancy using Interview Pro and this new knowledge and this new tool set that you're now trained in. Now, I would say that for over 18 years or so, I've actually dealt with thousands of clients and I've sold hundreds of thousands of reports. So we're more than happy to share some of that experience with you so that you can expand your consultancy too. After all, this is all about helping clients and building your own consultancy. So the first thing I would suggest is by offering a free report to your prospects. So once you're talking to a client about what you could do, the sooner you get, if once they've showed any kind of interest, then the sooner you get them to read their own report, then your life becomes an awful lot easier. Personality profiling is a lot easier to experience than it is to explain. So let the report do most of the heavy lifting for you. Almost invariably, anyone who reads the report will be impressed and astonished at what it can tell them and how much detail it can go into and how accurate it is. So without you having to try and convince people that all that is possible, just let them read the report and they will believe it for themselves through their own experience. I don't know that I've ever sold that many reports without letting someone read their own report for free first of all. So it's always a good tactic. Let the report do the heavy lifting for you, and as soon as they've read it, most of those questions that people have, those general questions, tend to be addressed and disappear as soon as they read their own report. Now, another thing you can do is to offer to help your clients build a success profile for each job role that they have. So you probably start with ones that they're currently recruiting for, but it's also a really good idea to build what could also be referred to as a psychological profile of their ideal candidate for each of their existing roles as well. Now, the reason you would do that is that recruitment often tends to catch people on the back heel, so it tends to be an emergency, almost a panic stage. So if somebody leaves and all of a sudden, oh, we've never thought about this before, we never thought MD would ever leave ever, and all of a sudden they're thrown into having to make rash decisions and they get a bit panicky. So by creating a success profile for existing job roles, you've already done a lot of the preparation work. So should anybody leave, you already know what it is you're looking for. You've started, you have a brief, you have a success profile, you know the type of person that you're looking for. So it suddenly becomes, the whole recruitment process suddenly becomes quicker and easier and shorter. So it's something you can offer. Now again, whether you charge for that, whether you do it for free is entirely up to you. It is possible to build a success profile with your clients without using any report credits if you want to do so. So it needn't cost you a penny, and yet you can really make a difference getting people to sit round a table with you and to talk about the type of thing that they really need from the people that they're hiring, the type of environment, the type of psychology and culture that they're looking to develop. Those discussions are very, very valuable, and you can help them do that. Another thing you can do is to help them build a historical model for each of their job roles. So again, you would work with the ones that are most important, the more senior positions, the ones that are currently active. And sometimes I say clients would ask me, they may not use the word historical model, but they would say, I would like so-and-so to do the questionnaire because we'd like to find people who are similar to him or to her. If you hear those kind of conversations, then what you want to talk about is historical modelling. And the argument for historical modelling is quite sound in that if something's working well, then copy it, emulate it, do it again. And that's really the theory behind historical modelling. It always works better if there's several people doing the same job and you can look at all of them and find a pattern. But in the absence of that and the client's insistence, then it is possible to profile one person and say, well, the next person will want somebody similar to that in terms of their psychology. And another thing you can do is offer a free ebook. We have published this ebook here, which is called How to Identify and Interview Great Candidates, and it pretty much explains how to use Interview Pro, why you should use it, and you could simply give this to your prospects and your clients. The report itself is largely unbranded, so you'll see there's no big People Apps logo on that cover, on that artwork. So you can use this as your own. You can put it out and use it either as a list builder or as something just to help explain and support the Interview Pro range and why personality profiling can really help your clients solve some of the really big recruitment problems. And again, People Apps does not charge you for this, so feel free to use this and distribute it as you need. So there we go. So that's just a handful of ideas that you can use to take new business from your existing contacts. And that's always the quickest, safest, easiest way to develop your income, which is to take a new product, a new service to your existing contacts. And you now have a new service, you have new knowledge, you have new tools. So introduce them to your existing contacts. Almost everybody that you already know, every organisation that you work with, there's always a chance that they will all be recruiting at some point. Some of them will be recruiting right now, so you should definitely speak to them. And so that's the way to go forward. And then, of course, is to take new products to new contacts, and things like offering the free ebook, offering the free services to build a success profile. These are great ways to open a door with a new prospect that doesn't know you and say, well, look, let us do a little job for free. Let us show you what we can do and how that can really help you and your recruitment. And before you know it, you've got the door open, you're now talking to them, they're now understanding that you have knowledge that they can really use, and you can take that forward.